I'm sorry. I was just thinking about something. But I am back. And today I want to talk about something. And I didn't realize how intense this is, like how this is a big stumbling block and a walk issue that can really lead to a salvation issue for some people, for many people, because they choose the wrong people to counsel with. So my question is, and this is how I'm going to start it. My question is, who are your counsels? Who are your counsel? Who are the people in your counsel? Who do you talk to? Who do you confide in? Who who helps you make decisions? Who helps you put life into perspective? And what type of doctrine are they installing in you within that? Because people don't realize how much people having wrong counsel has hindered other people. I'm saying people a lot, but I realize this, and it's something that the Most High said to me. He said, "You have the scriptures so you can see where people fell short and what people did wrong so you can do better." And I learned so much from the Old Testament in itself. And I say this because let's look at um Rehoboam. Yes, the first king after Solomon, his son. There was the moment where the people of Yasharel, or people of Israel, came to him and said, "Hey, your father's way of doing things, he was very heavy for us. It was a lot of load. It was a lot of burden that he put on us. Do you mind actually being a lighter load, giving us a lighter load, like not being as heavy as he was?" And he went to counsel with the priests and the people, his father's council, who was there before he started to reign. And those people said to him, I think, or the people of Yasharel, they pretty much knew that the people of Yasharel will literally follow him and be with him if he lightened the load a little bit, you know? And then he was like, okay, I hear you. I got you. I got you. And then he went to his friends. And if it's his friends, I'm going to presume this, that they grew up with him. How else would they be his friends? That's how true. I got a notification. So they grew up with him. So he went to his friends and he told them, hey, so this is what the people are saying. What do you think that I should do? And his friends were like, well, if your father was this hard on them, why can't you be even harder? You know what I mean? And he was like, you know what? You right. I'm going to go with what you saying. So he said to the people of Israel, my pinky finger would be heavier than my father's whole reign, essentially. And even though the Most High had said it from before, because his word does not come back void, he said it from Solomon because of the way he strayed from Abba and the way he went after other Elohims, because he was taking heed to his wives, who was his counsels, and he was taking heed to his wives instead of staying in the path of the Most High. He said that I'm going to separate your children because of your father. I won't do it with you, and I'm going to do it with your son. So his son came, and look at what he did. Everybody looked at his son, fast forward back to Rehoboam, and everybody looked at his son like, oh, word? This is wild. Can't do that. So, and that led to them literally separating and starting the first king of Israel. And then there's the king of Yehuda, or Judah. And it kind of goes into perspective. Who are your counsels? Look at all that can happen because he didn't listen to the older folks, because he didn't listen to the elders. And he took heed with his friends who didn't really understand really how to run a kingdom. You know what I mean? And they didn't have righteous judgments. He didn't even consult the Most High in that. He just went to everybody. You know what I mean? He went to the elders. He went to the people that was his age. And look at what came about from that. Look at Ahab, the worst king of Yasharel that could ever happen. He took heed to Jezebel, who praised and worshipped Ishtar and Baal. So everything that, and then look at what she did. She had her, and look how long that even went down, where she had influence up until every other, not every, but most of the kings after that, until the Most High killed that whole household, because she had her daughters married into Judah. So moral of the story of what I'm saying is, who are your counsels? How your counsels can give you advice to hinder your blessing. There are a lot of people that don't want the best for you and is trying to hinder your blessing so you can stay where you are. There's people that genuinely don't know, but they're moving through another spirit because they don't have the Most High in them. And because they're moving through another spirit, they're giving you advice that's not proper for what you need to do for the Most High. First things first, your first counsel should always be with the Most High. You got three. You got the Messiah, the Most High, and the Ruach HaKodesh, the Holy Spirit. You have to always make sure they're your top counsel, and then from there, have wise counsels after that. The Most High, in creating everything, he counseled with himself, because he ain't wrong. He's not wrong, so who else is he going to counsel with? Himself. So when I say that, you need to be able to discern what is the best strategy for what, and have righteous judgment. You have to bring every thought into captivity and compare that to the Most High. Everything that you're hearing, you have to make sure you bring that to the Most High and compare it to his word to make sure it is what he needs from you. Because people, that's why they say don't let your left hand know what your right hand is doing, because sometimes it could hinder you. Your own flesh could hinder you. You your biggest enemy, let alone somebody else who's walking in the flesh. So many times, because somebody else is walking in the flesh and not walking in the same spirit as you are, they have hindered so many people's blessings. And I'm looking at it like, you know, it's funny because I used to always say, who raised you? Like, who raised you for real? Who brought you up? Because why is this your response? And it's kind of like this. And I thank my mom, because she, you know, she has said this to me, because I was going through a phase when I was a teenager. And I was like, I used to listen to really sad music or whatever. And I don't remember what song, but it was a Drake song at this moment, because I don't listen to secular music anymore, so I can't really like pin it and tell you the title of the song. But the song, he sampled Nicki Minaj, and she was like, rule number 1 to be a boss ass B, never let a clown dude try to play you. If he play you, then rule number 2, his best friend, and make him yes men. And I remember I played that song in front of my mom one day, or like I was playing it and she heard it, and she literally stopped the song and she turned to me and she was like, don't take this advice. And I looked at her, I was like, I would never. She's like, no, I'm being serious right now, because you're listening to this song and the things that you listen to dissects into you, like goes into you. Do not do this, because it doesn't make the dude who cheated on you and broke your heart look bad. It doesn't make the best friend look bad. It makes you look bad. It makes you look crazy. And everybody's going to judge you for that. And no guy is going to respect you because they see you as not loyal. So don't take this advice. And I feel bad for the females that is listening to this type of music and is actually taking this advice, because so many people are. And it's so unfortunate, because it's like a lot of people's counsels are these rap artists, are these influencers, are these friends that are being influenced by these rap artists and all these other people, and they're making decisions that they know at the end of the day don't make them happy. They know that it doesn't make them feel fulfilled, and if anything, it makes them feel by far worse. You know what I mean? And we all have that stage of life where we had friends that convinced us that this whole culture is what we need to be doing as a female, but even as a male. Because it's kind of like, males kind of like, yeah, you're supposed to sleep around and do all these things. there's a culture that's going on right now that makes you feel like that is necessary to be happy and to have to have peace within yourself. Like, oh, you the best thing since sliced bread because you getting all this attention from these guys or these girls. That's not good counsel, because everybody knows, and I don't care how much you don't want to admit it because you already dug yourself in that hole. You know that at the end of the day, it truly doesn't make you feel good. It really, truly doesn't. It doesn't fulfill you. That's why you keep going at it again and again with different people, because you're looking for something. And again, if you try to stray away from that, if you try to deviate from that, and you have friends that are about that life and keep doing that, they're going to look at you like, what are you doing? What do you mean? That's not true. And everybody is lying to themselves. So the moral of the story of what I'm trying to say is, be careful who your counsels are. I'm not saying to hate somebody. I'm not saying to stop talking to somebody completely and utterly. Pray on that, because some people you need to stop talking to. But know what you're taking to who you're taking it to. Because it is very important to your walk, especially with the Most High. Who you listen to and how you navigate this life and the steps that you take, because people will be and can be a stumbling block. You can be a stumbling block to yourself, let alone somebody else can be a stumbling block to you. So that's why your first counsel needs to be with the Most High, because He will instruct you in all things and lead you in the way that you shall go. And then He will bring people to be like, this is a part of your counsel. This is a part of your counsel. This is a part of your counsel. And everybody will work in unison, because He is instructing everybody. And the Ruach is talking to the Ruach when you guys are talking to each other. You need nuggets. You need people to be like, did you take that to the Most High first? Did you pray on that? That doesn't sound like something that the Most High would want for you. That doesn't sound like the Most High instructed that. That don't even sound like the Most High. So did you show you heard that from the Most High? Pray again. I'm going to pray about it. You pray about it. And we pray about it together. Let's do a prayer session right now. We do it individually. And then we'll see what He says. And then we'll move according to that. You need to be able to hear that. You need to, sometimes, your friends need to rebuke you sometimes. Like, whoa, that's not Abba. I rebuke that in Yahushua HaMashiach's name, because that is not from Him. I don't know where that came from. Don't let no other spirits try to control you and try to think your mind is something else. You need some people to hold you accountable to Abba. And that's why a lot of people don't even want to have a relationship with Abba, because they don't want to be held accountable to the actions that in which they take. And the reality is, a lot of us are moving by our emotions. And because we're moving by our emotions, we want people to be yes men in our emotions and validate our emotions when our heart is deceiving us and everyone around us. So the reality is, you need to make sure that you are not, because you are feeling these feels, you are not taking heed to people that tickles your ears, that make you feel good or right in what you're feeling, because a lot of the times our feelings are wrong. So we need to be able to express our feelings, say what we feel, and then have somebody in love rebuke us. Have somebody in love tell us, hey, this doesn't sound like the Most High righteous thinking. This sounds like your emotions. And I understand that this is the feeling that you're feeling, but we can't act based off of feelings. We have to act based off of what the righteous judgments, righteous decision making. We have to use discernment. We have to see what is the little seeds that the enemy is trying to plant in us to stray us from the Most High, and what we need to literally be like, whoa, that's the wrong, dead that off. Man, bring that thought into captivity. Maintaining our emotional control so that Hasatan can't use it. And that's just the real. And I realize that there are a lot of feelings in which come into relationships. You know what I mean? And if the Most High is not at the center of all of those relationships, then those relationships won't work. And that's just the real. And it sucks and it hurts and it's hard to cope with initially. I mean, like, I'm still coping with it, so I can't talk like I'm the best thing since sliced bread and I know everything in terms of how to deal with it. But from what I've experienced, there's so many friends that I had to cut off. There's so many people that I had to stop listening to and venting to, because they weren't proper for my journey with the Most High. They didn't point me back to Him. They didn't point me back to him, because that's the goal. You got to be pointed back to the Most High, because at the end of the day, we are not the main characters in our story. We are all parts and supporting characters in Abba's story, in his glory, in Yahusha's glory, in the Messiah's glory. And it sucks. And yes, there might be tears. Most likely will be, because Abba knows how many tears that I've shed. Abba knows he's like how I've literally been praying for righteous kingdom friends. And I'm not saying that I don't love my friends and I want the kingdom for them, but I can't force anybody to follow him. I can't force anybody to have righteous judgment and give me proper advice that the Most High is instructing them in. And I'm hearing the Holy Spirit through what they're saying. But I'm not for some people. And I had to limit my contact with them because of that. And it was a hard pill to swallow. And it is. But we have to do, just like we have to deny ourselves, we have to deny some friends until they can reach the point where they can follow Abba. And it sucks, but not everybody is meant for the kingdom. It's only a remnant. So in realizing that, you have to literally be like, okay, even in taking counsel with yourself, you have to realize that you're fighting the flesh as well. Taking counsel with your friends, you're not only fighting their insecurities, their mindset, their flesh, but the spirits and the demons that's tackling them, even in them giving you your advice, because they don't even, some of them friends don't want to be jealous. Some of them friends don't want to feel a way about you. But because they have rooted situations in them, the flesh can speak and hinder you. An unclean spirit can speak and hinder you. So again, it's very important to go to Abba. It's very important to talk to him. It's very important to pray and use discernment on who you're talking to, who you're venting to, who you're letting in on what Abba has for you, and ask him before you even do that. Because the real is, a lot of us didn't have Abba all the time. So we made friends that were not supposed to be in our lives. Some friends were implants from the enemy. Just like the enemy sowed tares among the wheat, the enemy sowed tares among the wheat in our friends. So we now have to let them grow and see which ones we got to cut off. And now that we've grown, and a lot of them are growing, and not everybody has their different time. So you can literally have a friend who's just a babe and who's meant to follow Abba, but who's not in that right now, because we all have that stage. But again, who's the first counsel? The Most High. Pray about it. Pray about it, because he will let you know if that person's his or not. He will let you know, like, I can stretch out a hand to that person, but will the person take it? Let's be honest. Let's look at the fruit. Let's look at the mindset. You can pray for them, but don't confide in them. So the moral of the story is, who are your counsels? Most High needs to be the first one. Be careful who you listen to. Be careful how you even counsel with yourself, because sometimes the flesh and the unclean spirits, Hasatan can use that to try to pervert your mind. So again, go to the Most High about everything. He is the first counsel. He is the first counselor. He is the comforter. He is the rock. On the weary land, shelter me, Lord, in the time of storm, shelter me. Sorry, the song just came to me. But no, I'm serious. He is the first counsel. So, yeah, that's it. I just want you to think about that. I just want you to think, how are you counseling yourself? How are you counseling other people? And how are you letting other people counsel you? Because that goes for your pastors. That goes for your youth leaders, or your spiritual leaders, or your spiritual mentor, or anything of that nature. How are they living? What are their fruits? Do they always point you back to the Most High? Do they hold you accountable and sometimes rebuke you because you could be emotional? You know, all of these things, you have to think about them. And that is all I have for today.